Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm starting out by protecting my work surface with a Ranger craft sheet. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of ink blending today using some Simon Says Stamp inks. So I wanted to have a slick surface that will help me get a nice blend onto my card. Starting out with the color Hydrangea, and all of the supplies will be listed down in the video description below with links to online stores. So if you want to get any of these products, you can check out those links below. This is my card idea for today, and I've got like a panel in the background that's going to go behind some other stamping. And this panel is going to be ink blended from the top to bottom, kind of in a diagonal fashion. And I've done Hydrangea, and now I'm using Hot Mama. And I'm blending that on and making sure to overlap those colors. I then brought in Hot Lips, and I'm also making sure I blend those and overlap. And then this fourth color is Sunshine. It's a nice bright yellow, kind of more of a golden yellow. And then I'm using each of those colors once again to kind of just get the seamless blend between all of the colors. So now that I have all of that blended, I'm going to take my A2 card curved edge die. I'm going to place it over the top of that blended piece just to get an idea of exactly how I want to die cut the white cardstock. By the way, the cardstock I'm using today is Neenah Solar White. This is the 80-pound version. And I'm just getting that die placed on there, and I'll hold that in place with 2 pieces of some Post-it tape. It's a very low tack tape so that I can remove it later without it tearing the cardstock. Place that into my Big Shot machine and then glide that through, and it will cut that curved line. I can then remove the Post-it tape holding that die to the cardstock, and I have sort of a triangle shape that's going to go in that bottom corner of the card. I'm now using a stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This was a stamp set from a couple card kits ago, so some of you might have this stamp set in your crafting stash already. I'm using the Hydrangea ink to stamp the solid flower shape, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the same flower shape in Hot Mama, but I'm going to put it on some masking paper, and that's because I want to have these flowers overlap or have one in front of the other. And so I want to make sure that that area is masked off. So I'm stamping that onto some masking paper, pressing that down very firmly, and then using my scissors to cut out that shape. I forgot to mention that I did use the Hot Mama ink for those scribble lines on the interior of the flower. I'm kind of using these 2 colors together and kind of interchanging them. So once I stamp the other flower in Hot Mama, I'll go ahead and bring the scribble lines in Hydrangea. So I'm going to put that flower up on top, overlapping the first flower that I stamped. And these are very, very solid images, so I'm making sure that I press down onto my block very firmly. I'll lift up that mask, and then you can see how the first flower looks like it is in front of the second flower. So I'll bring in those scribble lines and stamp that. And I'm going to bring in some smaller flower stamps. I'm stamping the medium-sized flower in Hot Lips, and then 3 different small flowers in Sunshine. Then I'm going to take the color Willow. It's a nice green color, also from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to stamp the different types of leaves. There's a couple different leaf stamps in the stamp set. There's these 2 leaves that are together, and then there's some kind of single leaves that are slightly larger. I then took the dot stamp. There's a couple different dot stamps in the stamp set, and I used that for the center areas of the flowers, and then also I stamped some berries around the outside. I then did the interiors of those yellow flowers. And then just to fill in that bottom corner a little bit more, I stamped a few more flowers and some more leaves. And that's going to kind of fill out that area and make sure that it feels finished. Took that other center flower stamp and stamped that right there. And then to finish off these flowers that didn't have a center on them, I took a white gel pen and put some dots in there, and I also added some dots on top of the berries to give them a little bit of a highlight. Then took some VersaFine Onyx Black ink and stamped one of the greeting strips from the stamp set onto some white cardstock. Once again, this is some Neenah Solar White. And then I trimmed that out with my scissors. As far as the card base goes, I'm using some Neenah Solar White cardstock, but this time it is the 110 pound version. I like to use the 110 pound version for card bases because it's more sturdy. And then I added some adhesive on the back of that blended piece and pressed that down onto my card front. I then took the triangle piece, put some foam tape on the back, and then placed that down that bottom corner. And because it was lined up with the bottom and the side, I just stood that card up so that I could get a better angle on getting that foam piece up. Then I put some foam on the back of the happy birthday strip, and I realized that some of that black ink had sort of blended in with each other, and I didn't have a very legible letter H or letter A. So this time I used a different white gel pen. This one has a little bit of a finer tip. This is a Jelly Roll pen, and I just added those lines on the words and also on the exclamation point. I then rounded the top corner using my 1/2 inch corner rounder. And if you have little pieces that don't quite punch all the way through, you can just use your scissors to trim that like I did. So that is the card for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is a really simple ink blended card with some fun colors. I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks so much for watching.